Testing,
Right.
testing.
Miss Caroline,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Hello, hello. Isn't it nice for us to meet in person rather than over Zoom? Right? Do you know, meeting in person feels different, right? Yeah, today we're going to learn about what happens in our body when we meet in person or when we meet over our devices. Is that okay? Yes. Can I have my slide up? Thank you, team. And I have more than one mic with me because there's someone else in this room who is a part of me, who has agreed to join me today. And I want to honor my daughter. Yeah, her name is Jillian. Yeah, it's very precious. Sunday must spend time with family, right? Yeah. And I invited her also because she studies media arts and design. Okay, and so my other daughter, I have got two daughters. Let me show you who they are, if I can get my thing working. Otherwise, so actually you can download my slides. Okay, so you see the QR code there. If you scan the QR code, you should be able to download the slides, okay? Not every one of my slides that I'm going to show you is the same deck because I have removed some of my personal photos to protect our family. I think as we use our devices, we want to be careful, not just for ourselves, but also for other people, okay? Are you able to download the slide? This is how we use technology. Right? We have been given technology and we want to use it well for our purpose and not just let technology control us. How many of us think that our technology control us? Sometimes it makes us feel sad or upset. Like if I don't have phone, then I feel very sad. Right? That is a way that the technology control us, but we should be controlling our device. It is meant to help us. So this is what we want to do. Maybe Jillian, if you could help me to click the slides. Jillian, maybe help me click slides because I think my slide is not. My clicker is. Yeah, so this is my family. So it doesn't matter where I worked before, whatever, right? First and foremost, I'm just a fellow human being with you, okay? Yeah, I'm just a fellow woman trying to run my family and trying to run my life and serve wherever I can. And I've got two girls. My younger one, Jillian, is with me. My older daughter, she's at church. Both of them study media. And I'm in the field of media, and so every day we talk about media a lot, and we are always some of the tricks, or things that are in media that we want to be mindful of, so that we can take good control of it. I'm going to share some of the tips with you today, but I'm not just going to be the only one speaking. Okay, so from time to time, I might go up to some of you and say, "What do you think about this?" Like that. Can so cannot fall asleep, okay? So usually nobody in my session fall asleep one, because if you fall asleep, and then I'll come to you, what do you think? Okay, including the children. It's very precious that we have an intergenerational conversation. It's very, very precious. Yeah, so such visionary leadership. For us to come together, usually I just talk to the kids, talk to the parents, talk to the grandparents. But when we come across generations, let's figure out how we're going to use this well. Okay, for our family, for ourselves. Okay, starting with our own use of our devices. And some of us have more than one devices, right? Especially the young people behind. How many of you got more than one device? Have all? How many of you have got two? Actually, maybe let me just ask the number so that you can take stock yourself. Okay, how many of you have got one device, like one phone? One, Okay, how many of you got two phones? Two phones or one phone, one tablet, one phone, one? Doesn't matter. Two devices. Anybody? Two at two, Three? Anybody got three devices? Okay. Your mother. Okay. How many of you have got four devices? Have including computers, anything with screen. Okay, anything. So must take stock. Once in a while, we must have stock taking. Okay, how many of you have got four? Can I invite you to come and share? Like, how come we need to have four? How come one person need to have four? Come. This is where I will. Okay, yeah. Not that there's anything wrong. We want to use our devices with purpose. So if there's a reason, okay, because each one is expensive, right? Right, huh? Okay, unless somebody give it to you. Maybe some of us are very blessed, right? People give us a device. But let's hear from the vice principal. Vice principal. Okay, yeah. Come.
Okay, obviously, okay, school must give work. So they give us a laptop. I've got a laptop. I also get an iPad, okay, from work. So those of my work purposes, I get two. Okay, but personally, of course, I got my own handphone. And then I don't know how many of you, when you upgrade, I have given away some of my previous phones, but one of my previous phones I still have. So you go traveling, right? You put SIM card inside that one. After that, you go and make it very near the other phone so that you buy the SIM card from the country. After that, you connect to your own handphone so that you don't have to use data. You use the country's data. So that's why I got 4.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so we are not in a competition to see how many devices we have. Okay, the point is that for us to use this well, there must be a purpose. Okay, so like when she has a purpose, there's a spare one. Then when I go overseas, I don't have to take some. Last time I only got one phone, right? I got to take a pin, then must take out the SIM card. It's so troublesome, right? Then I might lose the SIM card. So the whole point for us this afternoon is to talk about how do we use this purposefully. Okay, can you turn the person on your left and right and say we must use this with purpose? It's purpose, okay, and we will figure out what is that purpose. Okay, I know every one of us sure use our phone with purpose, right? To pass time, to socialize, to learn new things, right? And so as we use this with purpose, I also want to invite us to think about what purpose. Even bad guys can use it for purpose. Correct? Everybody has a purpose. As we go along, I invite you to think about actually what is your purpose. How do you use it for a purpose that helps you and help your family and help society at large? And that's the purpose of us spending time this afternoon. Are we okay? Yeah. Can? All right. So next slide. Oh, okay. Is it working? Okay, sorry. Can you go back up? Go back up. Next slide. Oh, no. The first one. Earlier, one more slide up. One slide down. Can you stay there? No. Okay, so slide down again, sorry. Okay, so let's just jump here, okay? So from now till about 2:45, is that? Yeah, okay. But at any point in time, if anybody need to stand up and stretch, anybody need to go and get a drink, is fine with me. Is that okay? Because we are going to talk about biology also this afternoon. And actually, in terms of our body, if we understand it well, we are not meant to sit down for too long. So after a while, I might ask you to take vision break. You know what's a vision break? That means take care of your eyes, right? Like don't look at things near for too long. Okay, so I might ask you also to stand up and stretch, and you will actually feel a little bit different. Because our body is not meant to sit at the same place all the time. Even as we use our phone, okay, I will also invite you to check your posture. Is this the right posture? Ninja Turtle. When we are using our phones like this, children, I need you to remember, okay? Listen to Auntie Carol, listen to Auntie Carol, listen to Auntie Carol, listen to Auntie Carol. Phone like this and the thumb is very active. What are they doing? Playing game. What's your favorite game, huh? What's your favorite game?
Roblox. Minecraft and Roblox.
Minecraft and Roblox. Any difference with the boy?
Nothing.
He's 4. He's so tall. Primary 1. Time flies, okay? So we are going to talk about how our young people grow best. So the context of my sharing, okay? We are going to take something out of today's session regardless of how old we are. Okay? But my focus will also be how can we make a difference to the next generation? Because things are shifting so fast. And when our children, right, the way that they use devices, they are actually looking at us adults on how we are using devices. Is that okay? So the focus of today is, yes, we are going to learn how to use this well, but I will also have a focus on our young people because they are looking at us. We are part of their environment. that they grow up in. And if we take that focus that actually whatever we do should have a focus on the next generation, not this generation, Gen Alpha, but also Gen Z. You're Gen Z. No, Gen Z are not millennials yet lah, right? Anybody pregnant here? Those who are pregnant and giving birth, they're going to be Gen Beta. Those who are born 2025. Yeah. Those who are born 2025 and later. So every generation, there is going to be something that we want to be, we take note of. Okay? But the whole intent is how can we make sure, right, that our next generation, future generations thrive. I think for us who are a little bit older, right, we have got experiences that are different from the generation Alpha, right? Very different. And so when we come to a time like this, intergeneration, that's where we want to focus our conversation on. So I'm going to talk about how do we understand how human beings grow best. Actually, if I ask you, right, how do plants grow best? Anybody can tell me? Fresh air, sunlight, water, good soil, yeah. Yeah.
Seed. Carbon dioxide.
Yeah, you need carbon dioxide. Yeah, correct. Right amount. But how about human beings? What do human beings need? Right, sunshine. We also need sunshine, huh? We are all made of cells. Cells are made of atoms. Cells have got DNA, right? And later on, we're going to talk about the brain, okay? The brain have got amazing stuff. So we're going to talk about what makes human beings, especially children, grow best, okay? And when we are using this, there are a lot of things that are getting more and more complex, and we'll talk a little bit about that. I might skip through some of that because we have got really young children here. So, and then the third part is I'm going to give you some resources, okay, that you might find useful also as an adult. Okay, so click on the next slide for me, Ken. Next slide. So how do we grow best? Next slide. I think I will miss this. Okay, so I always want to start talking about devices, not by going straight to devices, but by understanding how we users actually work, even before we talk about how social media work or gaming works. So let's understand ourselves first, right? Self-awareness is very important. Okay, so these things, they are not walnut, okay? They are scan of our brain. Okay, they're not walnut, they're scans of our brain. And it's very interesting how, as human beings, it's very interesting how we are designed to grow at a certain rate. Okay, regardless of what race we are, regardless of which country we grow up in, human beings take time to grow. Is that okay? Right? A very important part of the body is your brain. Children, where is your brain? We don't see it, doesn't mean that it's not there. You don't see your brain, right? Where's your brain? Inside, right? And your skull is protecting your brain. Your brain does a lot of things, but you know what? Your brain is there already, but it is not fully developed. Isn't it interesting? Anybody have been to? So I'm going. I think for the older ones, is it okay if I talk to the children a little bit more? Is it okay? But if you have any question, just feel free to. Maybe I'll at some point also talk to they are not teenagers, right? They are young adults. Yeah. Because any of the young adults here below 25, or are they all above 25? All below 25. I have got something that might disappoint you, okay? So let me just say this, okay? Yeah. So human development, let me start from that. So it's brain scan. So this is scientific. It's not Auntie Carol say one, okay? This is scientific. As technology developed, science is now able to tell us a lot more things to help us understand ourselves. So our human brain takes time to develop. It's just like buying a banana from supermarket. Sometimes you buy a banana that is green, correct? Do you should we eat a green banana? Why? Why cannot? Why shouldn't? It is not ripe yet. But the banana is there already, right? Yeah. If you leave it for a while more, it will ripen, right? Then it's better to eat. But so same thing for the brain, okay? The brain is already there, right? Children, your brain is already here. But some parts of it is not developed yet. Okay, so let me tell you which part of the brain grow faster. Very interesting. Testing, yeah, very interesting. Okay, if I invite you to raise up your hand, imagine this is your brain. Can everybody raise up your right hand with me? Imagine this is your brain. Okay, if you put your thumb at the center, that is the middle part of your brain. Okay, the middle part of the brain is the blue part. The blue part or the purple part means it's the more mature part of your brain, which is at the center. That part of your brain is responsible for your feelings and emotions, right? So you feel very angry, you do something, right? Okay, so that the middle part of the brain is feeling. Now the brain matures from back to front. Okay, so it's as though it's growing like this. It matures slowly from the back to the front. The last part of the brain that matures is just behind your forehead. It's called the prefrontal cortex. Okay, that part of the brain is responsible for what they call executive functions, right? Things like setting goals, paying attention, understanding consequences. The feeling part of the brain and the thinking part of the brain is meant to work as a team. Okay? We cannot live our life just based on feeling. Wow, every day I see this chip, I want to eat the chip. Auntie Carol ever have lunch also, I want to eat the chips. I feel like eating the chips. Can I eat potato chips for every meal? Even though I feel like it, I really feel like it. Your thinking brain, our thinking part of the brain will say, actually that's not nutritious. Right? For a mature brain, it usually works very fast. The process is this. We feel something, then we think first. Should we do this? Should we do that? Should I say this? Should I do that? And then you actually act on it. Feel, think, and act. A more mature brain will be able to do. For us who are older with a more mature brain, we do that very quickly. You feel angry, you think first. Should I say this? Should I do this? Right? Before you actually say or do something. But even for us with a more mature brain, sometimes we feel very angry, we still blurt out something that we might regret, correct? So for the younger ones, this part of the brain is not developed, not so well developed. So which is why sometimes they are very drawn by what they feel. Yeah, do you know what I'm trying to say? So they feel very angry, they do something, right? Or they say something. The trigger happy. Is that trigger happy? I think we want to trigger happy means something trigger you and you immediately respond. Yeah, so we want to strengthen the thinking part of the brain. Actually, all of us can strengthen that. So this part of the brain doesn't come so it's not fully developed until mid-20s. What I'm trying to say is this. Okay, if I go to the next slide, if I look at it sideways, okay. The middle part, the scientific name is limbic system. It has got different parts. I'm not going into the various portion of the brain, okay? But it's the two key things to remember is that the feeling part of the brain develops faster for children. So even when they are tweens, like 11 to 14, or even the teenage years, okay, the middle part of the brain is maturing first. Okay, if you click that again, click again, please. Yep, the limbic system is fully developed by the time that they are 15. So they feel a lot. So a lot of things that we talk about devices that are designed to get our attention, ideally spend some money in it. It makes us feel certain things, right? And so later on, I'll elaborate a little bit more about some of the mechanisms that are in there so that when we know how it works, we then are able to be more willing to exercise the thinking part of the brain to say, no, I know that this mechanism is trying to make me feel in a certain way. I need to come back. I need to apply my reasoning. And for those of us raising with grandchildren or with children, then when we understand how our brain works, then we will know actually what kind of boundaries is appropriate. How should I introduce certain things to our children at the appropriate years? That's because physiologically, that's how the brain takes time to develop. We are, it's like when we have very young kids or when you first have your grandchildren, we will make sure that the corners are all protected, right? Just in case the kids bump onto it. That is developmentally appropriate ways to set up the environment to keep the children safe. When it goes to online, there are also certain things that we need to put in place so that they have time to be able to learn what is safe and what is not safe, what is healthy and not healthy, so that when they are in a teenage years, they can be more independent. So if you click that again, okay, the prefrontal cortex is fully developed around 24, 25, 26. Some research says even until 30s. Okay, so there is this gap. If you click that again, click one more time, there is like a clash of heart and mind. And it's a normal part of, it's normal. It's not like there's something wrong with our kids or your grandchild. Okay, because it is just how the feeling brain develops faster than this process of myelination of the synapses and the connections. Okay, so during the teenage years or the young adult years, that's where we want to be mindful that our feelings could draw us towards certain things that may not be so helpful, which is why we as adults still need to be around our teenagers and our young adults, even though sometimes they roll eyeballs, show us face, right? Because their feelings, they want to feel freedom, okay? But so that's why this intergenerational conversation is useful. Okay, next slide, please. So one of the things, so besides understanding that our brain develop at different rates, the feeling part of the brain matures faster than the thinking part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex. The other thing that I want to draw your attention to when it comes to brain is this hormone called dopamine. How many of you have heard of dopamine? Yeah? Okay, dopamine is a hormone that is released. It's like a reward, okay? When we do something that can make us happy, that like a hormone is released to make us feel good. It could be, for example, somebody like your post, or somebody put a. How many of you use WhatsApp? You all use WhatsApp, right? You all use the thumbs up. Sometimes you all talk to each other through emoji or thumbs up, right? When somebody put a thumbs up to what you say, how do you feel? Like somebody is affirming you, right? Is anything that is addictive will involve dopamine. It could be a gambling behavior when you see like, wow, got money come out. Wow, I think I want to try that again. It makes you feel good. When you feel good, your body wants to have more of it. So it could be gambling. It could be people who like your message, people who like your social media posts. And that's why some people will want to curate their picture nice, so that people will like their posts, right? Because it makes them feel. It could be gaming. Okay, if you game and you win something, you feel good. Why you feel good? That's because dopamine is released. Okay. The other thing about dopamine is for those who game, for example, gaming. When we talk about media habits, actually the topic is very broad. Okay, so I will cover many things. When we talk about screen time management, actually what do you do on the screen? You do a variety of things on your screen, correct? What do you do on your screen? Just throw out some things that you do on screen. What? You watch YouTube. YouTube for what? What do you watch YouTube for? Entertainment. Worship song. Okay. Learn worship song. Okay. Huh?
Play games.
Funny. Play games. Okay. Any more? Watch scary movie. Okay. Do you ask daddy and mommy first? Yeah, because sometimes for some people, those scary things that we consume. Okay, there's another thing, since we are talking about the body, right? This is very important, okay? When we eat something that's not good, we put something that's not good into our body through our mouth. Our body has a way to reject that. How does the body get rid of things that we eat that's not healthy? You come out either in front or come out at the back. Yeah, it can come out in front also, right? Vomit. How many of you have vomited before? You like vomit? No, right? No. But our body has a way of rejecting things. The body knows that this is not good, right? When it's not good, we either vomit it or we get diarrhea, right? But the body passes it out. Things that are not good for us that we put into our body through our eyes or our ears, how does the body get rid of it? Think about it. How does the body think about it? How does the body reject it? What do you think? Vomit? Does vomit? No. Yes. Yeah. For things that we watch. Create toxins. If it's scary or it stresses us enough, okay? Certain things can scare us, make us more anxious, right? It does things, the mind and the body is connected actually, which is why sometimes you feel stress, you will feel pain on your shoulder. It's connected. So when we talk about dopamine, okay? It's a feel-good hormone that is associated with anything that's addictive. I wanted to put it out here so that when we talk about social media or gaming or other things that are inappropriate or things that are scary. So he was thinking about watching things that are scary. Certain things that we have seen and watched, there's no control alternate delete button that can reject it immediately. Sometimes it might come back, right? It may not be so serious as a trauma, but it could be a memory. Our brain is so powerful. It can remember the good things and the bad things. So when we understand that the brain is so powerful, right? We need our brain for so many things for many, many years to come. We do want to protect our brain, especially for our children. But they may not appreciate the importance because you don't know, which is why you are here. I'm so glad that you are here. Is that okay? Even for the young adults, okay? Because there are a lot of things that they are consuming that may not also be healthy, right? But some things are being normalized. So let's have a conversation about it. So dopamine. I want to talk about dopamine a little bit more because especially when it comes to gaming, if we play game a lot, right? And games are designed, okay? Games are designed to hook our attention. There could be different kind of games. Later I'm going to talk briefly with you, right? Different kind of games that are designed for us to stay in the game as long as possible, ideally spend some money. And the more we do this kind of behavior, okay, the more the brain produces dopamine, right? The body will get used to like, oh, I need this kind of dopamine in order to feel normal and happy. Then when I take away the gaming or reduce, then they will find that there's a dopamine drop, you see. Because in real life interaction, normally a normal person, we will also feel the happiness. We get happiness from going outdoors. Or you get happiness from talking to people just now outside. Correct? When you feel happy, actually the body does produce hormones. It releases and then it passes off and then it comes back. That's how we can feel happy. But we don't feel happy all the time, correct? It's not realistic for us to expect our life to be happy all the time. But when we are in a game, the game mechanics, the way that we play it, there are social elements in it as well. The dopamine level, the body will get used to a dopamine level, and if it drops, right, that's where they feel like life is so boring. I can't get happiness from other things. There's a scientific reason for it, because the body has been very used to a certain level of dopamine. So in order for us to find joy in the small things in life, okay, which is why sometimes people would say we need to reduce screen time, reduce gaming, but the reason is because we want to regulate the dopamine level in our brain. Does it make sense? Is that okay? So I want to unpack this first when we talk about the brain. So 2 things to understand about the brain to recap, right? The feeling part of the brain matures by what age? Middle part, feeling part. 15, okay? So go back to this test, from time to time must test, Ministry of Education must every now and then must stop and pause so that we remember. If you go up 2 slides, yeah, okay, this one must remember, okay? The young people, right? You tend to think with your feelings, but we cannot live our life just based on feelings. We need to balance with reasoning, okay? And that's why we still need caring adults, parents, grandparents around us. The mature part of the brain matures at what age? Okay, so be patient with our young people. Okay, young people, be humble. Okay, and then the next hormones, that is dopamine. Watch our dopamine intake also. Okay, that's why we don't want to have anything to do with stuff that addict us. Anything to do with addiction involves dopamine. Gambling, inappropriate pictures. I'm mindful of my words. Inappropriate pictures, bad pictures, and things like that. Okay, next slide. So going to start first by talking about social media. Earlier this week, there was some, I don't know whether you saw an article in the Straits Times that talked about mental health of young people. Okay, and one of the things they talk about is social media. So this chart talks about age restrictions on social media. Okay, these numbers show what age did the company say that this is the minimum age for people to be on my platform. Okay, so if you look at the popular ones, I know just now I asked how many of you are on WhatsApp, right? Yeah, it's 16 in Europe. Okay, in Singapore it's 13. In different parts of the world, they have got different laws that govern how we use. Okay, but how many of us know of children who are younger than 13 who are on WhatsApp? Yes, cannot. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the reason why. Okay. So this is important for those of us who are thinking about introducing social media to our young. First, I wanted to highlight that we honor the minimum age requirement. But why is the minimum age requirement there? Okay. All these platforms are mainly in the US. In the US, there's a legislation called Online Children's Privacy Protection Act. It has got to do with privacy protection. Now that we talked about brain development a little bit just now, okay, so there is also a brain science of it. We don't want children whose brains are still developing to be on social media too much. Once we are on social media, okay, how many of you are on social media? I don't want to assume that everybody know what social media is. Okay, what social media platforms are you on? Just shout out for me, Ken. Facebook. Roblox is not a social media. It's a game that has got social element. It's good try. Because for her, she interacts with her friends. Yeah, so for her, it's social. Any more? Instagram, any more? X, TikTok, any more? The young people? Snapchat, any more? Young people behind? Young people, you're not on social media. Can say or not? Can say or not? Safe lah. This is a safe space. Huh? Tidal. Okay. Later, Gillian need to educate me on what's Tidal. What's Tidal? Okay, never mind. I learn something new every time, man. It's okay. Yes. Huh? YouTube. Okay. You subscribe to YouTube. There is also a social element to it. Yeah. So you find that things are like, there are a lot of things that have got a social element. Even games have got social element. Okay. But these platforms, okay, they are a little bit different from, YouTube is here also. Anything that have got interaction with people. Okay. I always want to encourage us to honor these. Okay, even though I know many families, they do allow their children to use these at a younger age, right? Because we want to give ourselves time to guide our children on what is right and wrong. Knowing now that actually the brain takes time to grow, right? And knowing that they almost like think with their feelings, which is actually not healthy. We want to strengthen the thinking part of the brain. Once we introduce social media platforms like this, it's like giving them a key to a very powerful car. Because once they are going into social media, they're interacting with many different kind of people. You don't know who they're interacting with. We think that they are safe physically in our house, right? But actually, if they are on the internet, they are actually interacting with many other people out there. Would you leave your child alone with a room of strangers physically? We won't do that, right? There will be some things that we do to teach our children first before we let them go to somewhere, a room of total strangers, correct? So it's the same thing when it comes to introducing children to technology. Yeah? So I just want to put it out there that there is a minimum age requirement. When we give your grandchild or a young person a phone, give as dumb a device as possible. Yeah? Okay? Thank you. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, yeah, okay. Next slide. Okay, skip some of these things. Okay. young children in the room, so I'm a bit more mindful. So this is the article that I talked about that was published earlier this week, actually, that talks about mental well-being. If you scan the QR code, actually, if you have the slide, you can read this in your own time. But earlier this week, okay, there was they released a report that says, you know, the IMH study says that excessive social media use is a public health concern. It's public health. It's impacting us, okay? It's impacting us mentally, and we can unpack some of this. Why? Okay? Research shows that adolescents who spend more than 3 hours each day on social media may be at heightened risk for mental health problems, particularly mood and anxiety disorders. But when it comes to duration, I always want to make a qualifier, right? We don't just look at the numbers. Because it's dependent on how you use your time. Okay, if let's say my job, okay, requires me to be on social media, to monitor stuff, to learn stuff, and I use it intentionally, I know when to stop when I need to, okay, then it's not as bad as somebody who just sit there, all they do the whole day is just sit there and consume social media. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's not just the number per se, but how we use the time. So for example, my daughters, they are working in the media space. They need to monitor stuff. It is part of their job. Okay? But so the more, if our job requires it, okay, the more we need to make sure that we are able to come back and interact in the real world. So the first thing is to be aware of how this impacts us so that we can decide how we use our time in a way that makes us healthy. Okay? Okay, maybe next slide. Okay, I'm just thinking whether I should talk about this because I think I should. So this is an article that was in April, and it's by Bloomberg. Okay, Bloomberg is usually a financial publication. Okay, so what happened is that it's about bad pictures. Okay, so children, this is a case where, so what is a bad picture? I need to define it first. Okay, bad picture has a, okay, so all parts, so I need to talk to the young people first, the lowest common denominator, right? Otherwise it will flow past their mind. Okay, so every part of our body is good. Okay, but some parts of our body is meant to be private. What are the private parts of our body? Private parts of our body are the parts of our body that are covered by our swimsuit when we go to the beach or when we go to the swimming pool. Do you understand? Like private parts are meant to be private. Parts of our body that are covered by our swimsuit or swimming trunks, or swimming costume when we go to the beach. You understand? Every part of our body is not that the private parts are not good or we should be shameful of it. Do you understand? I need to tell this to very young kids also, and this is how you can, if you have grandchildren or young people with you, this is how you can talk to them about introducing the concept of private, because nowadays bad pictures can be self-induced. That means I have heard of families who tell me, and I work with a lot of families, okay, over the years, there are families who tell me that, oh, you know, my child, very young child, preschooler, I think, right? Take a photo, very happy, right? Power, right? This is actually a very powerful tool, right? Go around taking pictures. Very cute, right? Take pictures. Then take pictures of their siblings when they are naked. Very good. This is the kind of reaction that you should have. Normal. Yeah, we don't do that. It's not funny. Okay? Yeah, we don't take pictures of other people's private parts. We don't take pictures of our own private parts. Okay, because private parts are meant to be private. Yeah, and I talk about this with young adults also. Because sometimes when they are in a relationship, right, they think that the other party can be trusted. I send a picture as an indication of trust. Because this is something that's very private, right? I don't send to everybody, I only send to you only. Right? But this is dangerous because if they break up, what happened to the video or the photo? Sometimes it gets uploaded to somewhere, sometimes it's used as a threat, right? You cannot leave me. You have to stay with me my whole life. Otherwise, I'm going to send your picture to all your friends. Okay? Or you have to give me a certain sum of money, which is happening in this case. Okay? In this case, so there's this boy, 16, 17-year-old, okay, already have a, so this is not in Singapore, okay, it's in another country. Yeah, it's not Singapore. So he already has a girlfriend that he was chatting on Instagram, on social media with a girl. So then as they have the conversation, then the girl say, send me a picture of your private parts. Yeah, okay. What do you think he decide to do? And you know what? So this girl then sent him a picture of her private parts. Okay? And then, he says, okay, I thought about it. Okay. Yeah, because it's happening at a younger and younger age. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And so he decided to send a picture. And then ultimately, almost immediately, the girl said, you know what, I have your picture. I know who your friends are. I'm going to send it to all your friends unless you pay me a certain sum of money. Okay, and then, of course, he said, I don't have this amount of money that you're asking me for. Okay, and so then he made a bad decision to harm himself. And then they found out, no, the thing is that they found out that it's not the girl who texted him about it. Okay, how do you know it's a girl? Just by the picture? Just because the picture is a girl doesn't mean that it's a girl who was talking to him. It turned out that this girl is not a girl. It's actually a group of young boys, okay, in another part of the world, in Africa, that is out on this scheme to go and do things to young people. And there is actually a few other cases that they were catching earlier this year. So the point is that, we want to be mindful. In the first place, don't ever send pictures, our private pictures to anyone. Okay, in Singapore, it's illegal actually. Okay, even if you send to somebody, okay, that you trust, okay, even if somebody, and I talk about this with 9 to 12-year-olds actually, because nowadays they have got devices at a younger age. Maybe skip 2 slides. I'm just mindful of, okay, next 2 slides. Maybe I can skip this also in view of, Okay, AI. Yeah, so beyond all the things about social media, and social media hooks us. How does social media hook us? Okay, before I even talk about AI, maybe just linger in social media for a bit. In social media, how do we know what kind of news that we get on our news feed? There is also AI built into social media. Okay, we teach the algorithm what we like. Actually, the system can tell what we like and what we don't like, and it's keeping track. How does social media keep track of what we like and what we don't like? There are cookies, but when we interact, when we like somebody's post, okay, we are telling the system that, oh, you like this kind of post. Okay, or when you comment on your friend's post, happy birthday, or like, wow, so cute. Okay, you are then telling the system that, oh, you like this kind of post. Okay, so when they are able to tell what you like, they would then give you the information that you like. Okay, the way of telling the public is that I help you to save time, right? So that when you are online, you only see the things that you want. I filter off all the things that you don't want. But in that way, when they can track what we like and what we don't like, even when you're watching videos, nowadays it's more visual, right? It's no longer photo. You get to see more videos because that they are pushing more and more video. The algorithm pushes video to us. Okay? Even if you don't interact on the video, let's say you don't even like, you don't comment, it is able to track how much we like the content by tracking how long we stay on that video. So I used to be working in the media space, and I'm in a space of marketing. And I would pay people to do the advertising on social media for me, right? I can be very sharp. I say I want to target this particular group, whatever. And they can be very sharp in advertising because they are tracking how we use it. Anytime that we use things for free, actually it's not for free. Okay? Nothing is life. I always say nothing is life in life is free except for daddy and mommy's love. and Christ's love for us, Yeah, and every time when you say it's free, you must think actually what is the catch. For social media or messaging platforms, they are not charging us to use it, but we use it a lot. Then actually we are the product because they sell our preferences to advertisers. And I, as an advertiser, I used to pay for it. That's how the game is played. That's how the money is made. They make a lot of money. And I'm explaining this so that we know how it works. When you know how the things work, we want to be smarter than it. We use it for our purpose. If I have a message to send, if I want to, let's say I have a message on digital wellness. I want people to know digital wellness, but I don't want to pay advertisers. Then I need to make my content interesting that people will want to see over and over again. Maybe it's a video, maybe it's keep track of the news, helping people to keep track of the news. That's what I do. Right? Maybe everybody's very busy, right? But I keep track on this particular topic so that people know, right? If you want to know about this topic, you can come to Auntie Carol. In that way, yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that there is AI in social media. But in the past 1 year or so, generative AI has really taken off. Okay? Generative AI can do a lot of different... It can help us. Okay? There's good and bad. Technology is always like that, right? There's good and bad. We want to take the good, use it for good, but we want to be mindful of what is risky and manage the risk, especially for our young people. So when it comes to generative AI, okay, it can help us to do a lot of things. If any of you are going on a trip, okay, you can type into generative AI, any one of these tools, ChatGPT, or even in WhatsApp now, do you know that there's AI in your WhatsApp? Meta AI, okay, you can just type, right? Let's say I'm going to Taiwan for 5 days with 3 people, each what. Give me an itinerary based on the budget of $2,000. You can try it now, as I talk. And then you can say, tell me where I can go, right, in 3 days with this budget in a table format. Okay, it can give you like that in details. Yeah, you can try this so it becomes your trip planner. You can, of course, try at different platforms and see, you can try like where is the nearest train station, for example. It can give you a whole list like that that's customized to you. It becomes it's like your secretary and it's with you all the time. Okay, so it can help us, but it is also dangerous because now you can search for anything, right? The information that they give us may not be fully aligned with the values that you hold in your family. Okay, so if you can do a search like, is God real, or is certain things fair? The answer that come out, you need to always check. Just like any Google search or whatever, and search engine search, right? Whatever comes out, we always need to still think first. Don't just take whatever the results come to us as truth. Do you understand? So which is why the prefrontal cortex is so important, which is why I always start my session with, we need to protect our brain. Protect what is our behavior, what we watch, because increasingly we do need a careful thinking mindset. We don't just take whatever comes and then take it as truth. Okay, no matter how appealing things look or how trendy things are, we still need to have that benchmark of what is right, what is healthy and not healthy. Not just because somebody big shot say something means it's true. We still need to think for ourselves first. Is that okay? Yeah, next slide. Sorry, maybe let's go back to the AI stuff. There are, unfortunately, apps, okay, that takes our photo off the internet, publicly photos, okay, and it can tweak in such a way that it can remove our clothes. Okay, so it's just like filters, internet filters, right? They can do things on our faces, can make our face look sharper, make our face look different. Nowadays, there are things like that. So we also want to be very careful of the things that we put on the internet. Yeah, all along we have been, all along I hope that we have been careful and honoring when we take pictures of other people and load it up. Okay, once it's up online, it's just have to be very careful. I know some of us are thinking, right, like that, how to live our life, then just don't use social media lah. I think we just want to, we use it for our purpose and yet be careful with it. Okay? Yeah, next slide. Okay, test time. Okay, I've spoken too long. I need to hear other people's. Let's do an eye test, but instead of eye test, is to tell me what is this. Okay, anybody can tell me what is the one on the left? The older people will know lah, huh? PUBG. What is PUBG? Educate us. This is a part of the education. Shooting game. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Is it still popular or is it actually waning in popularity? Still popular. Okay, so that is PUBG. It's a shooting. They call it the first-person shooter game, right? Yeah. Okay, next one. You know what that is?
I know the bottom part.
Anybody? The older ones, do you know what that is? You also are you on Webtoon? Okay, can you tell us? Yeah, educate us. Okay, yeah. Come.
It's a manga. Then you can read. Yeah, there's a panel that you can read the manga scrolling. Quite convenient.
Whose manga?
Huh?
Like whose? What is manga? What is manga and whose content are we watching on Webtoon?
It's like anime, but in a picture format. Then you can read the storyline before it became an anime.
Okay. Yeah. Is there any particular anime that you like?
I can say so. And then those solo leveling, still those that reincarnate and then build out the level, so on.
Thank you so much. Anybody can publish anything on Webtoon, right? Is it? Can be any creator, correct? So anybody can create anything or not anything lah. It must be in that genre, right? Because they are like anime, cartoon. Okay? Yeah. So platforms like Webtoon, okay? It's like YouTube. YouTube is anybody can create anything and upload onto YouTube and anybody can see it. So that is videos, they upload it on YouTube, anybody can see it. For Webtoon, anybody can draw anything, right? You upload it on Webtoon. And it's like a platform for many other people's drawings. What people draw can be good or bad. Anything that is crowdsourced, this is like a crowdsourcing, user-generated. That means user-generated means it's done by users, any users. A platform that has got user-generated content, that's why we want to be more careful when with younger people. Because anybody can draw anything. So some of the content there may not be too healthy. So knowing all these things, right, as adults, then we can talk to our young people a little bit. What makes you, it's not that the whole platform is wrong. Some of the cartoons can be good. Okay, one of my daughters, not this one. Do you draw on Webtoon also? No. But my other daughter draws on it, right? And it can be a showcase of talent for some people. There are platforms for music also. Okay, like if you're a musician, you're a budding musician, right? You can also upload your original composition on a platform. Again, when it's user-generated, right? We want to be mindful. Okay, how about the next one? I don't know lah, huh? You also know, you're reading it off, is it? Your friend plays, huh? Okay, how about this one? You play it also? You got Amber. Okay, what is Amber? Tell us. Maybe not.
It's like one of those 4-star characters.
So I'm spending time so that those of us who are not familiar can understand why it's so attractive for them. Okay, there is a social element in the game. You know, last time when I was young and played the game, firstly, the graphic is not so real. Okay, secondly, there isn't such a strong storyline, or you can choose different characters. Yeah, and that's what makes it so enticing. You can also choose what clothes to wear, right? Yeah, you can choose what clothes to wear, and there are some games that has an element where you can use real money to buy nice clothes for your character in your game. Like Robux. Yeah, do you actually also spend real money? Do you all spend real money? You have, huh? You spend real money for what?
To buy toys.
To buy toys, huh? Okay. Yeah. Did you ask for permission? You must ask for permission, okay? Cannot just like click on a thing by yourself. Okay, next one. Okay. Wow, so excited. Okay, I want to see the reaction. Okay, yeah. Suddenly so excited. Okay, this one on the left, starting from the left. Discord. You know Discord? How do you know Discord? How old are you again? 10 years old. Do you use Discord? Maybe Jillian, can you come and help me? Like, can you tell us a little bit about Discord? What do you use Discord for?
Okay, most of the time Discord is a calling platform. So like, you know, WhatsApp, you have your calls also. So on Discord, you can do it to show your screen. You can call your friends. And I think one of the different functions about Discord is that a lot of people can log into Discord and call while you play games. So I think that's the main idea, or at least the main function of Discord that I use. So let's say PUBG, right? I will use Discord to call my friends, and then we will log in and play together, so we can hear each other talk while we play. So that's like, it's like doing WhatsApp when playing games, but Discord you have different functions. Like you can have bots to come and play music for you. You can chat there, and there's a lot of different functions. Yeah.
Okay. Is it still okay with the rest? Is it like too much info? Is it okay? It's interesting, still okay? If it's like information overload, you must tell me, okay? Yeah, because this is to give a flavor of what is available. Actually, it's available to all of us. It's just that we choose not to be on it, right? But for young people that are curious, if their friends are on it, they would want to go and see what is it, right? And actually, if it's really useful, they would use it for social interaction. Okay? But when they are doing all these different things. I haven't even gone through. I still got one more row. But I may not have time to go one more row, right? They are doing all these different things on different platforms. They are very interesting in a variety of ways. But if you look at them physically, okay, what is their body doing? Their body is like that, right? Or like that, right? Or they could be sitting on a computer, right? Which is why sometimes when we see our young people, we always say, how come your screen time so much? Right? But let me ask the young people in this room, okay, whether is it the young adults or the children, how many of you think that the adults also spend a lot of time on screens? Okay, you see, okay. Why? But are we addicted? Okay, let me ask the adults. Are you addicted? You also? Self-awareness is good. Yeah, so actually there are also mechanisms that hold our attention, correct? Yeah, so we are in this across generations. We are very excited, very excited.
Listen to.
Because Daddy and Mommy, you want to say what?
Ask my mommy. I don't know how to say.
No. No.
They want to honor their father and mother. It's a good thing to do, yeah.
My mother every time watch Facebook.
Watch Facebook. Yeah, Auntie Carol also like, then how? Then I should friend your mom. Okay, no. Yeah, so, Yeah. So everybody need to have self-control, correct? Can you turn to the person on your left hand side and say, I need self-control? Okay? And then turn to another person and say, you need self-control. Now, which part of the brain, okay, revision again, which part of the brain help you to have self-control? Prefrontal. How old will your prefrontal cortex really fully mature? Okay, Yeah, so for the younger ones, we need to put some guardrails, right? Because it's not easy for them to have self-control. Okay, so which means that we do need boundaries. We need to have good relationship to persuade them why. It's not that I'm out to make life difficult for you. Yes.
What happens to an adult who's addicted to this kind of thing? Are they operating from their limbic and their prefrontal cortex is in like what called dormant?
Yeah, so adults, right? Adults might also be very reliant Okay, I usually want to avoid the word addiction. Addiction is a very strong word. We don't want to just anyhow label why you are addicted. Because addiction should be properly diagnosed by medical professionals. Okay? Addiction, usually when it goes to a medical professional, they would look at the person holistically. Okay? I might like to play game, but am I eating properly? Am I sleeping properly? Am I having good relationship with other people? Okay? Am I able to cope with my work or my studies? So just because we are physically on this position a lot, it does not mean that the person is addicted. And they monitor over time. Okay? They monitor 6 to 12 months before they say that, oh, actually you really need intervention. Is that okay? Yeah, so we want to be careful, not just anyhow throw that label, because it's very easy for somebody to say, yeah, no, I'm like that because I'm addicted. What? I'm addicted lah. Yes. Yeah, correct. The Blu-ray is bad for the eyes, so we do want to watch our eyesight as well. Thank you so much for raising that. Okay. I think the next one, no need lah, huh? This one, TikTok. Wow, why so excited? Which one are you excited about? Reddit. This is Reddit. Oh, thank you so much, Abby. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, maybe just a quick run. I won't go through everyone, okay? What is this? TikTok. Okay, TikTok is very popular, right? How about this one? Okay, do you know what Pokemon? Have you heard of the Pokemon game? Yeah. Pokemon Go uses a technology. Called something R. Is it AR or VR? What's the difference between AR and VR? Now, I'm trying to get at it because this is how when technology shifts, it can make things very immersive and very fun. Okay, and then there are also social elements built into it. Okay, so for Pokemon Go, you find that they are going around different places to look for monsters, correct? That technology is called augmented reality, right? This is our reality in the physical space. It's some Instagram filters are also like that, right? You point it to something, you have a character that appears. Correct? That is augmented, something that comes into our reality. Now, the reverse is virtual reality. We go into an artificial world. How do we go into an artificial world? We put on goggles, we put on headsets. Okay, sometimes you can put on a body thing, right? So that when people hit us, you can feel it. Yeah, so that's how technology can be immersive, and they are weaving some of these things into games. Okay, they are weaving some of these things in. There are some people who are also thinking that, oh, I may not want to feel comfortable coming into a physical meeting like this. I can meet at home. I just need to put on my goggles, I put on my headphones, I put on my whatever vest thing. I can actually meet people online. I don't need to physically come out of my room. Is that something that we want? Is it something that is good for us? So that's where I think technology is shifting, and all of us can think about, is this really good for us? Even if the technology is available, is it something that is good for us? So this is always something that we should be thinking about, right? As more and more things come up, how can we use it well? And if certain things that we don't need to follow the crowd. That's what I'm trying to say. We always need to think first. Don't just follow blindly. Just, yeah. Okay, Ken? Pokemon, this one? Roblox. Roblox, is it one game or many games actually? Many games inside one game, okay? It's a platform. Like anybody can create a game in Roblox, right? Jillian, you want to talk a little bit about Roblox? Okay, yeah. So Roblox is not just one game, okay? There are many different games. You want to say a little bit about? Okay. Yeah, so there are different games. Again, different people can create different games. Some of the games might have bad content in there, okay? Whether is it sexual or violence. And people can chat with each other. Okay, and so if your child is in there, if you have got your grandchild in there, just be mindful. Do they know who they're talking to? Is it healthy language? They can switch it off. You usually switch off when you're on Roblox, talking to people, one. Okay, and for some of the younger children, when they are on it and they see things like that, for some children, they feel scared. You want to say something? You want to say something, is it?
You say you want to say something. What?
No, so my point is that we want to be mindful. Just because it's a popular game, it is a very popular game with young people. It is actually not very safe. Okay? Yeah, it's so disappointing, right? Yeah, so we want to discuss with daddy and mommy. Okay, how can you be safe when you're on Roblox? Okay, you can be safe if, let's say, your daddy and mommy is with you. Okay, or if you switch off the communication with other people, for example. Okay, especially for the younger ones. When they're older, when their brains are more mature, when they can decide what is right and wrong a little bit better, it is okay. But when they are very young, we want to give ourselves time to teach them what is right and wrong, right? What are their values? What is their own internal filtering and monitoring tools? Because it's a very popular game. Okay, Roblox. And there's money in there also. Just now somebody was saying Robux, right? Yeah, tell us about Robux.
You need to pay money to get Robux, and then some people they use Robux to do their outfit.
Make yourself look better, is it? Make the character look better.
And then some people they are like, there's also like what? You speak like you also speak like you. Oh,
So there is money involved, okay? So you can use real money to buy a currency within Roblox that can enable you to buy certain things. Again, this is a game mechanic actually, right? The game mechanic makes sure that it doesn't immediately convert to Sing dollars, US dollars, because then you actually have a better appreciation of how expensive that thing is, right? It uses an in-house currency, right? And when they make you feel that desire to, remember, the feeling part can be a big draw, right? I really feel like I need to get this. I really want to get it, and they would time that purchase in a way that they know that you are feeling very strongly. Especially for young people, they have no sense of how much that really costs because it's not in a currency that they are familiar with. Again, this is a game design. Do you know what I'm trying to say? They add in things like this, and if they add in even some more like you can pay by credit card, they don't even feel anything. They don't have a concept of money, right? So these are things that's why I'm saying that, we want to be watchful because we need time to teach them the concept of money. We need time to teach them the concept of time. How do you plan your time, for example? Okay? Is still okay so far? All right. Telegram, you all know lah, huh? Everybody, Telegram. A lot of things happen on Telegram, okay? Including sale of vapes. Is very prevalent, right? It's a secret, different kind of stuff. This one? Do you know what this is yet? Twitch. The VP knows. It's a VP on Twitch. Yeah. It's a place where people can watch other people play game and so on, interact with other people. This one? This one, our in-house gaming expert. So next time we can ask her. Yeah. Brawl Stars. Actually, my daughter just played Brawl Stars on the train. Brawl Stars, BRAWLSTARS, Brawl Stars. Brawl Stars, okay? It's a fighting, it's not really a fight, okay. But it's very popular also with young people. Reddit, it's, the VP say is nonsense, but a lot of people use that to go and ask for information. Okay, and you don't have to fully identify who you really are. Anybody can create an account, and sometimes the things that is shared there is not. It's very raw. It's very raw. May not be entirely healthy. Okay, but that's the draw of some people, right? That it's anonymous. That one, Fortnite is another popular. So this slide is to give you I don't even have like all the things that are popular with our young people. It's to give you a flavor of all these are temptations for any of us. The time that we spend on this, what if we spend this time learning something? Okay, spending time with each other. How can we use any of this, if at all, to strengthen our family? Do you think we can? Think about it first. Do you think we can? It could be a distraction or it could be fun depending on how you use it. So in my family, we use TikTok. Sometimes there are some TikTok dance that we do together, and it's quite fun, So even when this could be distracting, I would want to encourage us, how can we use it to strengthen your family bond? You can play a game together, right? And talk about what are some potential things that we need to look out for, right? So we can use, even for WhatsApp, okay, how can, maybe Jillian, can you come and share with us maybe a little bit more while I toggle to the next slide, right? How can we use, my question is, how can we purposefully think about how we can use our devices or our platforms to strengthen your family, to make the relationship in your family stronger? Okay, maybe Jillian can share a little bit about your perspective as a young person, yeah.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Hi, yes. Okay, so for context, like I'm 19, I'm the younger daughter in the family. So I guess like, for example, like WhatsApp, right? So our family, we have a habit of constantly updating everybody on what we're doing. So let's say I'm on my way to school. I just tell them, oh, I'm going to school. Oh, I feel very tired. But it's just updating them on how I feel and connecting with them. And they also respond like, 加油, oh, I'll pray for you. You know, God is with you. And I think that's when technology can be used to really encourage and really make. It's not always something negative. There's always something positive that can be brought in.
How about at night? If you come back late at night, there's also a thing that...
So like, for at night, we also update on where we are. Because especially like it's late and we're all like young adults. So it's something very important of like safety. And something that my mom has actually done, which is quite interesting, not very common, is that if I'm ever in an emergency, she tells me to text X in the group chat, like the letter X. So it's a sign that, oh, I need an emergency, call me now. And then I'll be like, oh, sorry, I need to call my mom, and I'll step out. So it's a chance of escape in a sense if anything ever happens. So that is one example of how technology can really keep you safe. It's not something that is always, oh, my friend just using phone in front of me, like, oh, she's away. But there's something more that can be done.
Yeah, thanks, Jillian. Thanks. Thank you so much. Can you encourage her a little bit, because she seldom do this. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Just to give a context about the X, SOP, we discussed to have that in our family because sometimes for a young person, it's hard for them to walk away from a situation that they find uncomfortable but feel a little bit paiseh to walk away from their friends. Okay, many years ago when we were discussing this, when they were much younger, we were reading a report together in NUS, right? When they are having orientation, they are in a situation where they know that something is, they feel uncomfortable, right? Some things are happening and it's physical and it's inappropriate. Some of the girls, they feel like, I cannot walk away. I feel like very bad. I just have to stay. If I walk away, then my friends will judge me. I have to answer this. So, which is why it became like a SOP in our family, right? That if we see X, the SOP means we practice already beforehand. We don't panic, right? When we see X, mommy will call. Okay, when I call, you just have to stay calm. Tell your friends, matter of fact, oh, my mother called. And then just blame it on the mother and walk away. This SOP has only been activated once. Okay, activated once, not by Jillian, but my older daughter. Okay, and that day she was having an orientation also. Yeah, so she texted X. So when an SOP is activated, how do you feel? How do you think you will feel? Yeah, the antenna will go up, right? So the beauty of SOP is that because there's SOP, you don't scared, right? You follow the SOP. So the SOP is mother must call. Either the mother or the father must call. So I call. So when I called my daughter, all I hear is thumping music, like party music. And I thought, huh? How come she's at a party? Isn't she supposed to be on campus? Okay? And then she said, she didn't say anything. Then when you call your daughter X emergency already, then you hear party music, how would you feel? Wow, then my feeling brain are very excited already, right? And it's leading me, right? But then because there's SOP, we follow the SOP. The SOP is, I would say, it's okay, you walk away, you are safe. So I just kept assuring her, it's okay, you are safe, just walk away. It's okay, we talked about it before, we walk away. And then slowly I hear the music get softer and softer. But then in the meantime, when I'm trying to say, it's okay, walk away, actually my heart as a mother, very hard, right? But you know, as adult, we need to stay calm, right? So that we can lead our young person to safety. So So as the music gets softer, she started to say, yes, I'm okay. Because they suddenly switch off the light. I said, how come they suddenly switch off the light? Because they were having orientation towards the end of the day already. You know, it's meant to be chill, it's meant to be party. And then they set it into a party mode, but with the whole hall, and she was uncomfortable. But because we talked about it beforehand, right? She knew what to do, I knew what to do to keep her safe and make sure that she is not uncomfortable. And have to, you know, these are things like this that's what I'm trying to say. We can use technology to strengthen relationship, to keep one another accountable, to keep one another safe, right? We can think about things like this and use some of these tools to strengthen family relationships, okay? While looking out for, actually, there are some things that we want to be mindful of. Next slide. I think I spent a lot of time on screens already, but this is just to show that when we talk about games, there are different kinds of games. Okay, different kinds of games will appeal to different people. I won't talk about it too much, but this is to say that there are, like, for example, Battle Royale are the, it's a fight, aim to be the last man standing. I'm putting here also because there is gameplay. You see this word gameplay. That means each round in a game will last a certain duration. Okay, and if we understand that each of these games has got a certain duration, if as an adult or a grandparent or a parent, we want to come in and say, you know what, you spent too much time already. We also want to appreciate that it's like a game that's in motion, right? It might be more effective to say that, tell me how long more does your game need to end? Okay, after that, we need to stop and we need to do something else. Otherwise, if they are in the middle of a game and then you say, no, I need you to stop now. That's why sometimes they get very upset, because they are in the middle of something. And sometimes the game that they play might have responsibility with a larger group of people. Yeah, so they feel like, that's why sometimes young people think that we don't get them, because we may not appreciate that in the game there are certain things. Right? So when we know what game our children are playing or grandchildren are playing with, we understand what are some of the dynamics in there, then we can better help them to shift, you know, to reduce or it's like a change management, right? When it comes to parenting and grandparenting, right? From one activity to another is changing a pace, right? In order to make that change smoother, right? Help them to stop after the game has finished rather than insist on stopping when they are in the middle of it. Does that make sense to the young adults in the room? Is there anything else that you think I should be saying to represent you well to the... How do you think? Anything? Yeah. Oh, the VP wants to say something.
To ask. I got a question. Sometimes, or whoever's on the handphone, okay, or whatever game. No, because sometimes, right, there are certain fixed times, like, you know, let's say family dinner time is 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock or something like that, or like in school, there's certain things that start the lesson that, I'm sorry, you're in the middle of a game, but lesson starts at 7:45. It should be put away. I don't care whether you're responsible for your friends or not. I'm sorry. There are certain responsibilities and there's certain timetables you're expected to adhere to, and you kick to those. You can play around it after that.
In school is different, right? In school is principals say cannot means cannot. Actually, by right at home, it should be like that. Any of the young people want to weigh in on, like, how easy or how difficult is it to stop a game, or how... You want to say something? Jillian, you want to say something? How can we help people who are deep into game to, like, reduce it a little bit or to change? In what way do you think we should be talking to you? Should we talk gently, or anyone? Anyone have any thoughts? Or Jillian?
Okay, I play Brawl Stars personally, and then Brawl Stars games take like 3 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. You're playing a longer session. But I think when I know that I have like something on, maybe like I have a lesson in 10 minutes, I'll say, okay, 10 minutes, each game is 3 minutes. So I'll play two more games, then I'll get into the whatever lesson lah. But if I know that if I have something in 5 minutes, then I go on to play like a 10-minute ranked game where like the stakes are high, then like that doesn't really make sense. So when you're asking someone to like stop their game when it's something important, I believe that adults should have a responsibility, should have an authority over them because it's their choice to enter the game. It's not they just enter the game anyhow. But if it's like a casual setting, we should head out pretty soon, then maybe like we wait like 2 more minutes, let them finish the game, and then then we can have a common understanding.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. Is that okay? Do you understand what he was trying to say actually? Yeah. Sorry, I have a question.
Well, I noticed that everyone on the train, almost 90% are on a handphone all the time. But I always try to pick and see what they're doing. Most of them are playing games, about almost 70%. But the danger is when the games has got a sound effect, they use the earplug, so they're totally oblivious of the surrounding. And I can see that even though you are limping up the set, but they can't see you, they can't hear you. So can we have a ban of games with phone, with the sound effects? Because I think that's the most dangerous thing. And I see people crossing the road, playing games with earplugs on. And I always try to scare them. I stand in front of them, shake my hands up, and they scold me. But then I think, I'll show my disapproval. But I think that there must be some law enforcement on it because the dangers are really apparent.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So I used to be in public service, right? And I used to be in the Infocom Media Development Authority. But before that, yes, sir.
I think the Ministry of Education or the government bodies, they must play a more responsible role to manage this because it's very dangerous. Lives are at risk. They are walking traffic and they are using, so it hurt others. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I saw this teenager, he got 2 hearing aid here already.
Hearing aid or is it headphones? Hearing aid. Yeah, okay, because sometimes it might. Okay, but we are not sure whether the hearing aid is because of the use of the headphones also. I know that there are all these different behaviors that we notice, right? From how do we best keep one another safe? I think that's what we are very concerned about. We can look at it in different ways, right? What can the government do, right? Government can set laws, but they may not want to set laws over everything. Then citizens cannot make decisions on our own, right? So they can set laws, or sometimes they run campaigns. That means it's not a law, but they encourage certain behavior. That means you go to the MRT station, you see like advertisements everywhere, right? So they can run campaigns, or it actually is up to us at a family level, at a community level, to look out for one another and help one another to make good decisions, right? And so from the government perspective, I don't think any government will always want to make laws on simple things that we should be making decisions on when to put on headphones. I think these decisions, as responsible citizens, we should make the decision. Okay? Then if we see other people using headphones inappropriately, then maybe as a society, we should care for one another enough to say, you know what, actually, do you really need to put that on? So for example, right, in my family, at one time, right, my kids, everywhere they go must put earbuds, right? Then I would say, you know what, mommy is here. When you are with me, is it okay that you don't put on earbuds? Okay, it's very convenient, right, to put earbuds. Then sometimes they will tell me, but I'm not listening to anything. Then I say, if you're not listening to anything, why you want to put earbuds? Right? So for me, it can be a trigger. It's an indication that you are prepared not to pay full attention to me. But giving each other full attention is a precious gift. When you're all in with somebody, that I'm not just looking at you, but I'm paying full attention to what you're saying. How do you feel when I'm looking at you in the eye? Paying attention, pausing and looking at each one of you. This is a gift and that skill, actually, that we want everybody to have, isn't it? Wouldn't it be nice if you go to a train station and everybody start to look up at each other and smile? Wow, very hard now, because everybody's... It's impossible. But for next time, no pressure. I always tell my kids, no pressure. Next time, if I've got grandkids, no pressure. Right? When they are very young kids, actually, sometimes we see them already using phones, right? Those are actually great opportunities actually to divert their attention to look at things around them, observe things around them. Just now, gentleman was saying that we should be observing whether there are any other people that actually maybe need a seat, maybe they are feeling sick. But if you're on our phone, we miss all those cues, right? And so this is how we are trying to say that, hey, can we be purposeful when we use this, right? Purposeful means I purposely put away my phone. Can we purposefully put away my phone so that then I have my attention on other things? This is always with us, Yeah.
Reports of those people playing games and they went into epilepsy.
Okay, some of them might already have got certain conditions. Maybe they are using it extensively. Yeah, so I think all of us can choose to balance our life better. Okay, so I won't have time to go through this. You should be able to see it in my deck of slides. So if you just click a few more times, these are just examples of different genres of games. Wow, so many different kinds of games, Yeah. They all have different draws for different people. They have got different gameplays, and so it's for us to... And some of these, like Dota, like these, right? They are competitive. They can be competitive in nature. That means people can earn money playing the game. They can join a club, but not everybody who play game is able to do it professionally. Okay, it's very tough to be a professional gamer. So I talk to a lot of young people. Sometimes they think, wow, I'm really good at this game, then I can be a professional gamer. There's a lot more that goes beyond. And I run sessions with professional gamers to give a reality check, right, to young people or even for adults to understand the gaming sector a little bit better. Okay, so next slide. Okay, so the next few slides, for the rest of the time, I'm going to introduce certain guidelines by professionals or certain resources for you to consider. So for those of you with grandchildren or children 0 to 6, the Ministry of Health has produced a guide last year, actually. And earlier this year, they were talking about we are going to intensify maybe public education on this. So there is a guide on how we can use screens better. It's depending on the need of the individual, okay? This means we should examine what helps our young children thrive. And I have a next slide to talk about that. Parents should be present and engaged. That means for 0 to 6 years old, we don't just give a device freely to a child. And then, wow, so clever, know how to swipe, then we just leave the child to swipe. Okay, there should be certain guardrails to make sure that whatever pops up is safe. And in the first place, very young children may not be processing the information that comes out from the screen in the right way. Some of the content that are meant for children may not be healthy also, right? Like Peppa Pig, for example, there are sometimes it's not very honoring to the father, for example. Okay, so just because it's cartoon doesn't mean that it's safe. Just because it's animation doesn't mean it's safe. Okay? We must always be role model, okay? Whether it's parents or grandparents, even if we are single, there are always young people looking at us, how we are using our screens. So every one of us have a responsibility for ourselves and for the people around us. Don't have to wait until the government do things. We have the power to do things ourselves, okay? Yeah? All right, next slide. The next slide talks about in detail, okay? If it's, I don't see any one of us who with very young kids, but if you have got grandchildren, or thinking about future children, 0 to 18, discourage unless it's for interactive video chatting. What does it mean? When, let's say, talking to grandpa and grandma, okay, not staying together, and you want to show the baby, hey, do like a chat, okay, WhatsApp chat, for example, video chat. That is still screen time because the baby is talking to the screen, right? We want to co-use it with the child. That means to help the child make sense of it. Oh, you are looking at grandpa and so on, okay? Reduce background screen noise. That means avoid having just the TV on all the time when we are with very, very young kids. Okay? Very good. Now it's silence. How comfortable are we with silence? The sound of silence. silence can be beautiful. Silence can be a space for us to reflect and dream. But if every minute we are conditioning ourselves that we must always have a earbud with us, we must always be listening to something, we are missing out on this. It can be resting, or you can be thinking, or for some of us, we could be praying. Yes, be still. Yeah, it's when we are still that we are able to appreciate certain things. We are able to think better. Instead of consuming music that is written by other people, we have the capability within us to think and dream, right? What is it that we want to do? What kind of goals that we want to set? Okay, so background noise, when at a very young age, we are then conditioning young children to always have sound with them, right? As they continue to get conditioned in this way, they find difficulty in, oh, I'm so bored. I don't know what to do with my time. When actually dealing with boredom should be a life skill. Boredom is a life skill, right? It's during that kind of boredom time that we really get to think a little bit more about life. And we don't just run with another day, just run with another whatever, and then we just live life like that. Okay, anyway, 18 to 6 years old, limit screen time, cold view, and so on. I won't go to it too deep because I don't see that many of us with this age group. The next slide is talking about 7 to 18 years old. Next slide, please. Yes. Okay. So again, this is by local medical professionals. Just now is the Singapore Ministry of Health. Okay. So this one is by KKH and HPB and so on. So there's a suite of things to say that this is how in 24 hours, young people between 7 to 18, they can be healthy. Okay. I want to draw your attention to sedentary behavior on the top left bottom. Sedentary means you're not physically moving so much. Okay, built-in breaks to move around when we are sitting. So we have been sitting, let me check my clock, 1.5 hours. Can I invite you, everybody, to stand up? Just stand up and stretch. Okay, stretch, because we shouldn't be sitting too long, right? You can move your shoulder. Okay, you can just bend forward. Wherever that you feel a little bit pain, I invite you to stretch. Okay, do whatever you feel that you make it so. It could be rolling your shoulders. Okay, can? And then when you are done, you can take a seat. How do you feel? We just do a simple things like just get your body moving. We are not even coordinated. How do you feel when you get your body moving? You feel a little bit better? This is what we are designed. This is how we are designed. Okay? Yeah, so we want to make sure that even if things that we're always sitting down all the time working or whatever, right? Have regular breaks of moving your body, get your body moving. Limit recreational screen time as much as possible. Recreational screen time. We use our screens for a variety of ways, right? We can use it for work, we can use it for entertainment, and so on. The idea is because everybody only have 24 hours, how do we plan your 24 hours? Can we? Yes, screens take a part of it, especially if we are working. Okay, for those of us who work, we either use big screen or small screen. Clear emails, do presentation, learn new stuff, right? But there should also be time that we don't use screens. Intentionally, purposefully know that we need that balance. Okay, either talking to our family, making sure dinner time is protected from screens, right? Meal time is one of the best time that we really should protect so that we can focus on one another, we can catch up on one another's life, we can share what happened in the day and really get to know each other family members better as a person. Okay? The rest I'll leave you to read. This is what the balance is. The next thing I want to say is sleep. Just now I showed the article about, earlier this week about mental well-being. Okay, sleep is a very, very important part of mental health. And if we are not careful, our screens can also steal away our sleep time. So there is this term called sleep hygiene. How do we make sure that we transit to sleep well? Okay, and ideally our body is designed to make sure that we sleep. The ideal type of sleep is nocturnal sleep. That means when the sky is dark, we sleep all the way till morning. How much sleep do we need? Okay, according to the professionals, okay, it's 9 hours for 7 to 13 years old, 8 hours 14 to 17, 7 hours for 18-year-olds. Okay, for those of us who are older, it doesn't mean that you minus like that, huh? Then by the time we are in 60s, only sleep 1 hour. No. Okay, so there is still, okay, but we still need sleep. All of us need. How do you know how much sleep your body needs? Okay, I encourage us to try this if you have the opportunity to. Okay, sleep for a few days and notice. Don't wake up with an alarm clock. We usually wake up with an alarm clock, right? We are artificially telling our body, hey, it's time to wake up. But if you have an opportunity, maybe for those of us who might have a break or during the holidays, okay, children during the holidays, you try to sleep a few days, you wake up by yourself without an alarm clock. Then you go and check what is the duration. That is the amount that your body needs. You try that a few times. Okay, and then keep it. Actually, if you listen to our body well, you will find that there's a pattern. That is the amount of sleep that your body needs. Okay, so but what the professionals have done is that on average, this is what we all need lah. But the point is that in our lifestyle, sometimes it's difficult. So when it's difficult, when we go to school, we need a certain time frame, which means that we do need to, if we honor sleep, and if we all appreciate that our body needs sleep, then we do need to adjust our activities so that we can protect our sleep. So we don't just protect our meal time, we protect our sleep. We help one another in the family to protect our sleep. So it's difficult. I've got 2 young adults in my family, right? It's very difficult. Yeah, we are smiling at each other apologetically. So sometimes I would go to her and say, maybe you come. Because this is still a constant battle, right? Because life in Singapore is just very tough. So when she was younger, not just she lah, when both my daughters were younger, okay, how we deal with sleep. I used to really don't like to every night talk about nagging, right? So I don't know whether you remember, there was one time I said, hey, let's problem solve. This is a problem. Do you remember she can't remember. So there was once I got quite fed up. So I said, okay, this is a problem. Let's problem solve together. Okay, I don't like to keep every night say, can you please put down the phone? It's time to sleep. So I said, okay, let's think, brainstorm. So the brainstorming process is you list out all the ideas, right? So what are some ideas? Maybe should I go to Popular and buy a folder, and then I put, 5 minutes, then I flip lah. I just go in before you, 4 minutes, then next page. 3 minutes, like speaker like that. Yeah. Then you just, just smile, laugh. You don't remember when you were young?
I remember there was one very annoying one because I don't like a lot of sound, or I get very annoyed when there's a lot of things going on around me. So one thing that she has is it called a xylophone?
Yes,
so
that was part of the brainstorming.
Then it's so noisy. Then I please don't do it. I will really get very annoyed. But I think what worked for me after I think a few rounds is just reminders that are very gentle. It's like, okay, it's very late. You want to go and sleep? Oh, tomorrow you have something on. I think you need to go and sleep soon. Instead to, hello, very late already, can you go and sleep? Then I'll be, as a youth, especially when I was younger, very reactive to a lot of things. I get very annoyed. I know it's late. I know I want to sleep, but I haven't finished my stuff yet. So when she's more gentle now, because me and my sister were in media, right? So we have a lot of assignments. We have to do a lot of things. Then when she's more gentle, okay, we need to go and sleep soon. You're very late already. You're very tired, right? You want to go and sleep soon? I prepared the room for you already. There's aircon for you. Wow, I hear aircon. I also want to go and sleep already. So it's just small things that she does that really makes it more encouraging. It's not very pushy.
Yeah, the approach. Yeah, the brainstorming thing that I was talking about, it started with, do you want to flip 5 minutes, 4 minutes? Thank you, Jillian. Yeah. 5 minutes, 4 minutes, then they laugh, smile like that, right? Then after that, it sounds like no. Then maybe I get a whiteboard lah, whiteboard lah. Then I just erase 5 minutes, 4 minutes. And then one of the ideas was, can I go and buy a xylophone? because I'm a speaker, right? So ding, 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 and it sounds very nice. So I really go Yamaha with her and buy. Do you still remember we went Yamaha to buy? In case you can remember. Yeah. And if ding, 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 then don't work, right? I will go ding, 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 come back. Still. So it's a funny way, but it's actually trying to solve a problem, right? But then because she really don't like it, but sometimes I really cannot take it. Do you want me to use my xylophone? You know, but I haven't used xylophone because I think what they need is the relationship, right? To use in a gentle way that I genuinely care for you because sleep is so important. Okay, how can we sleep earlier together? So sometimes I would start like the night to ask her like, so what is the plan tomorrow? So even now I always have this say, right? During dinner time, say, so what's the plan tomorrow? Then that's when everybody starts to think about tomorrow's schedule, right? Oh, tomorrow I need to do this. In order to do this, then I need to sleep at what time? So usually my question would be, tomorrow what do you need to do? Oh, so what time do you need to sleep now? Oh, 12:30. 12:30 still a bit late, huh? Can be a bit earlier. Then 12 o'clock. Oh, if it's 12 o'clock, still is an improvement from the previous day. It's okay. So 5 minutes before I tell you. Just now you say you want to sleep at 12, right? It's 12. Going to be 12 very soon, okay? Like that. Yes, sir.
Sleeping late will affect the liver and the eyes. Sleeping late will affect the liver and the eyes.
And actually mental health also. So sometimes actually when we fall sick, the doctors might just prescribe us, you go and sleep. So sleep is very important. So don't allow devices to interfere with our sleep. How does devices interfere with our sleep? Okay, I would strongly suggest that we charge, especially when the children are younger, right? Children, don't bring the phone into your bedroom. Okay, bedroom is meant for sleep, right? We also shouldn't be bringing this to the toilet. How many of us use phone in our toilet? Can we don't use phone in our toilet? If you bring your phone into the toilet, can you make sure that you clean your phone? When was the last time you cleaned your phone? After today's session, can everybody go and clean your phone? Yeah, even if you don't bring to the toilet, it's with you everywhere. Yeah, yes, sir. Next to the pillow. Don't know. Okay, bedroom is meant for sleep, so that we are not tempted to pick up the phone. Okay, if we forget to switch off to silent mode, or sometimes you cannot sleep, I wonder what my friends are doing. There is always something in the phone to keep us awake at night. Okay, so we want to not tempt ourselves. So charge the phone outside. So these are some of the habits that we can have. If you're worried about alarm, right, I would strongly encourage us to get the separate, just a dumb alarm. I know our phones can do so many things. Yeah, but let's be intentional to make sure that we use it in the proper way. Okay, next slide. Okay, next slide. I'm mindful of time. Next slide. Okay, stop. Okay, so I wanted to talk about 3 R's, right? Just now we talked about what are some of the... Is there also 3 R's? Okay. Okay, so 3 R's. When we talk about building habits, when we use our phones, it starts with relationship. Okay, build a strong relationship so that we can communicate better. The discipline will be accepted better, right? So build a relationship. Connect before we correct. Okay, reason with our young people, right? Reason could be also giving them an opportunity to reason with us. Right? If they tell us, hey, the game will end in a certain way, we want to understand a little bit better. But we also want to reason with our young people, like, why am I concerned about this? I notice that you are spending so much time, because sometimes they may not notice. They are in the flow because it's so enticing, they may not notice it. So that's why intergenerationally we come together and reason well with each other, respectfully and honorably, with gentleness and respect. Okay? Rhythm. Okay, rhythm is talking about, all of us only have 24 hours a day. Okay, how can we make sure like our morning routines are joyful? Okay, do we start even in breakfast time already? Everybody at the breakfast table start to use our phone, or do we start our day talking and enjoying breakfast with each other? Okay, during meal times, for example, meal time is a connection time. right? Where we can role model what does it mean to be all in, paying full attention, being fully present. These are opportunities every single day. Yeah, nighttime routines. What are our nighttime routines? How do we help each other to sleep well, sleep early? So the last point about rhythm is, how do we build this rhythm of life together as a family? You can even review how well you have been using devices as a family. So in our family, we used to have a family media plan. Maybe script. Next slide. I don't have time to go for this. Next slide. Next slide. Can just click a few more times. Okay. It's about being reasoning, active listening. So I'm talking about this. Bedtime. Okay, never mind. Next slide. Sorry. Okay. So this is done by Jillian when she was 8 years old. Okay, part of using devices is about not just managing our sleep, not just managing our eyesight, but managing our time. Okay, how can we as a family help each other to manage time better? So when the kids were younger, so this is like a whiteboard. They used to have an all whiteboard. So to plan, it's about planning beforehand, right? Time management is about planning. So I would tell her, like, I was trying to teach her setting goals, right? Thinking ahead, what are the things that she should do? Then this is 8 years old, I must do my homework, practice and do revision every day. Try to help mommy with house chores. The keyword is try lah. But I was just telling her, I'm going to use this slide, okay? This try, She said, now I do, okay? I don't just try. Yeah, so she helps me with chores now. But these are things that we are talking about build. So instead of just telling, you don't use screen, how can we guide our young people? Say, so what do you do? What can you do? Channel them towards healthier use instead. Yeah, so this is about time management. Device usage is about time management. Next slide, please. Just click a few more times. I can come back a separate time. So sorry, next slide. I prepared a lot. I prepared more food that you can take. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say. Okay, so this is a tool, a free tool by the American Academy of Pediatrics. Okay, this is a tool that you can use to have family conversation, right? So let's come together as a family and decide. So there are different categories in here. Okay, if you scan the QR code, you'll be able to get to the website. You can then have a family conversation on each of these separate topics. I know it's a bit small for some of us. It could be, how do you get media balance? How do you have kindness and empathy? How do you have digital privacy and safety? Should there be screen-free zones or screen-free times in your family? Next slide. We'll go into elaborate a little bit more. So let's say I want to have a conversation on screen-free zones in my family. Should there be an area in our home that should be device-free? So if you decide, for example, like mealtime, I really want to protect it. That means at my dining table, no phones. That is a habit that we want to build. And if you want to have a conversation and you know that the young people around you say, why cannot? Why cannot? If you click on reasons and tips, it will then give you talking points. Okay, then you can use it as a conversation. Shall we agree as a family that because we want to protect mealtime, right? Let's all agree. So it's not just something that the children do, but we adults also must do as a role model because it helps us to have better connections. Okay, so there's so many different categories, many things. Like, should we keep our bedrooms screen-free? And just now my suggestion was I strongly encourage to be screen-free, right? Bedroom is meant for sleep. Toilet is meant for certain things. Okay, toilet should be screen-free also. Can or not? Do you think it's a challenge? Okay, just leave. Do what you need to do done in your bathroom and then they just come out. Okay, all right, next slide. So for some of us who are thinking of how to set up the home environment with the right infrastructure like the Wi-Fi or filter or whatever, this is a good website to use. Okay, I'm mindful of time. All these are in the deck that I sent you earlier already. So if you have downloaded the deck, you can you don't have to take screenshots of all this. Okay, yeah. Next slide. Common Sense Media. Okay, Common Sense Media have been using it since the children were very young. And they know that, when they ask for permission, Mommy, can I go and watch this movie? Okay, and my usual answer will be, I will check. And this will be one of the places that I check This is in this website, they review movies and games, right? Media comes in many different forms. It can be movies and TVs, or books, or apps and games. Okay, even podcasts. Now the latest one that they have, it could be even podcasts or YouTube channels, for example. Okay, so when you come here, you can then take a look at what's the latest. You can even customize it if you want. Next slide. Yeah, and then there's a metrics for evaluation. This particular one, I highly recommend it, especially for children at this age group, 9 to 12 years old. When it's about dealing with bad pictures. Okay, and I run, in fact, right after this, I'm going to run a session over Zoom on this. I do this every month because it's so important. It talks about screen time management, talks about the brain. So a lot of things that I talked about earlier when we first started, I talk about it with the young children so that they know how to protect their brain. And then talk about bad pictures. Next slide. Yeah, I had a podcast with Joanne Pei talking about bad pictures. So if you want to, next slide. Okay, parental controls. There are different ways to manage it. Filtering is like water filter, right? All the bad stuff don't come in. There are various ways that we can do that. We can do it at network level. That means you pay your telco certain amount of money, like a value-added service, okay? Then it filters off certain things. At device level, there can be certain settings. Website level also, there can be safety modes that can be turned on. Monitoring tools are tools that means you can go anywhere, you can give you a report of where you have gone or flash out certain websites or content that have been used. I use a mixture of this depending on how old the children were. Even for adults, okay, some of the adults, they also use monitoring tools as a self-accountability. Because things like bad pictures doesn't just impact the young people, it also impacts adults. So there are also adults that use these tools, but the most important tool, especially when it comes to raising the next generation, is to help them to build the internal filtering and monitoring tools within them, okay, so that they know what is right and wrong. Okay, next slide. Yeah, ultimately it's relationship. Ultimately it's really the relationship with the people around us. Right, that we want to take care of how we use our screens, not just to keep ourselves safe, but to keep one another accountable and to keep one another safe. All right, next slide. Next slide. Okay, last few slides already is help desk. Okay, if you know of anyone who needs additional intervention, okay, there are a few sources where you can get help from. So this is from Touch. So there's a hotline, okay, that you can call. Next slide. There is also the National Addictions Management Services. Okay, there are professionals that can help us in internet and gaming addiction. Pornography also, they are also able to help addiction. Next slide. This is something new, okay? So because of the variety of online harms that are out there now, the government has, the work of this started from government initiative that I was a part of to deal with online harms. And after that Alliance of Action completed its work, we set up a new agency, not an agency, but like a charity, okay? They have got good relationship with the tech companies. So if you, I hope it doesn't happen to you, but if you know of anyone whose pictures is leaked and you need to take down, you need to be removed from Instagram or whatever immediately, okay, we can go to SHE. SHE stands for SG Her Empowerment. Okay, they focus on women because the online harms impact on women and girls is much deeper than boys, but they do help guys also. Yeah, but the focus, they have a hotline, they have a counseling center, they have got pro bono legal help also. So if it is like somebody keep harassing somebody or whatever, right, and you need legal help, can go there for help. Okay, so this is a new service that is really good to know. Okay, it's quite comprehensive. Next slide. Yeah, this is what I mentioned already. Because there's a whole suite of online harms that I don't even get to talk about just now because I think for this I will go deeper with adults. Okay, next slide. Yeah, so Brain Defense is the curriculum that I talked about just now for 9 to 12-year-olds. The adults are welcome to sit in. Okay, I do this every month. On the right, because we are, yes, it's in my deck, yeah. So the one on the right, in order to lead in the conversation on sexuality or on bad pictures, right, we do need to be confident ourselves first as adults. Okay, and how do we do that? That's what I try to do, like over Zoom at people's convenience, so that we know how our children learn about this topic and how we can lead in the conversation on this. Okay, and yeah, so if you are interested, come and join me. Next slide. I think I can skip this. Yeah, so this is my last slide. This is how you can reach me. I am on various social media platforms, or if you scan the QR code, you will get to this page where I would list all the stuff that I do. Feel free to stay connected. I know that today is really just a whirlwind of different things, but it's so good to hear from the children, right? Can we give the children a big round of applause? Yeah. Can we give the young people behind a big round of applause too for sharing? Yeah, thank you, Gillian. And also thank the Young at Heart, right, for sharing our observations as well. So let's all stay healthy online together, okay? Can you turn to the person on your left and right and say, let's stay wise online? All right, thank you for having me. Anybody have any questions? You can just come to me. I'll be here in front. Feel free to come and ask me anything, okay? All right, thank you so much.